I asked the 9D Arcturian Council how we can move into Earth's optimal timeline. Your focus of consciousness determines the reality that you are in. You're so used to having one reality that you do not understand that you're now in multiple realities. Move to this multiversal portal where all these timelines are available.
Hello, lovely souls. Welcome to Becoming Awesome with Peter D, channeling the 9D Arcturian Council.
Hey, beautiful souls. I'm super excited. The 9D Arcturian Council is going to be here with us today, talking about how we can move Earth into the optimal timeline for all that peace and love and joy you've been wanting to create. Let's dive right in. Before we do, please remember this is a discussion. Put your comments below, and like and subscribe would really help our channel out. Okay, the 9D Arcturian Council is going to give a channeling for us, but I need to explain a little bit of background first, because then it'll make more sense. And stay around to the end. Gonna be a activation transmission from our star brothers and sisters to really move us into that optimal timeline. So this is the deal. August 13th, 2025 was a very spectacular day. First of all, it was my birthday, but that's not what I want to talk about. Dolores Cannon, Nostradamus, Edgar Cayce, all pointed to that day. And it was very cryptic what they were saying, but they were all talking about the end of time. Now, this is very similar to when the Mayan calendar came around, and it was the end of time. So I checked in with Spirit. Once I got past all the birthday clutter, it's like, well, it's my birthday. Of course, it's a special day. I could start to understand what was going on. You see, Earth is moving into a period of bifurcation, actually multifurcation. There's going to be a lot of different timelines coming up, and the 9D Arcturian Council is going to explain that to you here in a few moments. But what it means when time ends, it means a cycle of time, one way to understand it. But more importantly, there's a mass consensus about what a timeline was. Most people saw the same kind of things happening over and over, and they would call it reality. But then all of a sudden it got loosey-goosey, and at the beginning, people who were straying from the path, you're insane, lock them up, do drugs, kill them as a witch, all that other kind of stuff, right? You've experienced it, okay? But now everybody's having the ability to create multiple timelines because of where Earth is energetically, density, lighter, change. As such, things are shifting. And this is an important time for you to be able to create your reality using your focus. Okay? So that's kind of what this is about. It's kind of like, it's not like it just happened on the 13th and it's over and you missed your chance. No. This is opening up of a new energy that is now permanently on Earth that's going to amplify the ability of anybody who's aware and activates it to move into the timeline that they choose. It's going to be optimal for them. So let's bring in the 9D Arcturian Council and learn about how to do that. Dear brothers and sisters, it has been far too long since in your earth time since this beautiful channel Peter has brought us in to speak with you. We missed this connection. Of course, he is busy with so many beautiful people that he works and channels with. As these timelines that you are aware of open up, more of you are going to experience this type of channeling where you have access to not just your higher self, but many beautiful entities that are coming up. As we say, you're moving into a period where there are new timelines available to you. We would like to explain how that process works, and then more importantly, what you can do to take advantage of creation of the timeline that you would like to inhabit. But let us begin by saying we love you so much and we miss you, and we look forward to the day that we can have this kind of connection like we have with this channel now, but actually with you individually without any intermediaries. Oh, the joy. Because you are magnificent. You do not know that. You think that we are just coming to you and it's special. No. Imagine when grandparents get to go visit their children and they're so happy and excited. That's how we feel. Not that you are our children, but we have that same kind of thing. Can we be your best friend? So if you can bring that same excitement to it, it will move you quicker into the place where we have this connection. Part of it is the opening of these timelines. Now, what is happening? Earth, as you knew it, has been on a single track for most of your recorded history, your 6,000-year cycle that many of you believe only Earth existed for that long, much longer. But during that recorded period of time, there's been kind of an agreement of what's going on. Yes, there were different things. There were different shifts that were quite big. Some of you understand your mud flood. Some of you understand the lost years in history. Those are topics that other rabbit holes you can go down and explore. But except for those major deviances, it's been one timeline. And the reason why you're not accessing those other realities, as we just described, is the mass hypnosis focus on a single timeline. The energy allowing single focus of a mass has shifted radically on Earth. You do know that you are in the period of the harmonic convergence. That started in your 1970 year and will go into your 2036 year. During this 56-year window is when the biggest changes are taking place. You're moving towards the tail end of that, but the window is still wide open. Now, what this harmonic convergence meant on a galactic sense is as your galaxy wobbles, yes, it wobbles. It doesn't just spin, it wobbles. Earth, on the very far edge here, suddenly moved into alignment with the galactic core. And that slight little shift is only a little bit by the galaxy, but because of the distance out that you are, it is a big shift in energy frequency for you, has opened up more densities. Yes, not densities, I should say higher frequencies. There's a range of frequency, and now you can move higher. Before you were only in the denser one because your separation from this galactic source energy, call it spirit, call it whatever you wish to call it, is what was not available. Hence, you are in one timeline. Now, this may sound skeptical to you, but you can all research this. You can go read NASA documents, and you see that every planet in your solar system is hotter. This is not global warming. This is energetics from your sun, amplified from the central sun. This is opening up this window that many of you have called harmonic convergence. Now, spiritual and scientific go hand in hand. You do not understand this yet because most of your history has been separating the two out. So you can look at it spiritually, you can look at it scientifically. Either way, it is the same outcome. And that is when you can advance. When you have spiritual science or scientific spirituality, that is when you will advance the most. Now, you are in this window of change, and this change is a shift from one set of densities to another. Some of your ancient writings, your is it Vedas? Yes, it is Vedas. Your is it Hindu? Maybe your Hindu Vedas will talk about yugas. You're coming out of the Kali Yuga. You're moving into what's called the Satya Yuga. It is part of a 6,000-year cycle within a 26,000-year cycle, which is the wobble. And at that time, you're in the period where you're going to getting the most from your connection to source, i.e. you're moving into the golden age. Now, at this time, you would think that, nothing changes around you and just your aunts and uncles show up and give you presents. That's kind of one way to look at it, but it's a very childlike way to look at it. It is not just that you're moving in density and therefore people are just nicer. You're actually in a different reality. You have not fully embraced yet that your consciousness, as it interacts with energy, creates reality. So you're so used to having one reality that you do not understand that you're now in multiple realities. This was a very difficult concept for many people to understand. They would have to first get introduced to what you were called bifurcation. Earth has a timeline split. And you see this in what is called the Mandela Effect. Oh, some of you believe it's Oscar Mayer spelled this way, or the example Peter uses is Oscar Mayer spelled that way. You should know that as a channel, Peter is not clear audience, so he's not hearing us. He's an energy field, and we give him the energy, and then he interprets it. As such, we are limited to his vocabulary and his experience. So it's going to sound like he is talking, but it's also going to sound like his experiences. But that is the limitations that he has until he learns and accesses his clear audience, which is coming. And then we can speak more directly to you. But for now, this is beautiful, and this is where all of you will enter as you begin opening up your channeling abilities. Now, you understand this Mandela effect of moving from here to there. Some people see this, some people see that, and you're starting to say, okay, they are both realities. How is it you can be in one and not in the other? See, that is the question. Your focus of consciousness determines the reality that you are in. Yes. So you think you all remember it as spelled this way or said that way, and then you have the experiences there. But because your consciousness focused on it, it then moved to a timeline where you had that memory. If your consciousness did not focus on it, you would be in the other timeline that had the other memory. So it is really a matter of focus, and you're just having it, as you say, willy-nilly, because some of you are here and some of you are there, and you wonder and you think it's cool, which it is, of course. But we want to talk about how you actually take advantage and move this as an intention rather than, oh, it's just happening around me. So this is your understanding of the concept. You have these two timelines you call Mandela Effect. Now, recently your popular literature, comic books, superhero movies, have been all on multiverse, different possible realities, and you're seeing different variations. And that is quite fun and quite playful. They do not have it correct, of course, but it is opening you up to the concept that there's different realities with different timelines, with different entities that you call yourself. They're all you, but it's where you have your focus that makes it. The others are not quite automatons running on their own, but they are drawing energy from your main source of focus, and that keeps their lives and their realities going. You didn't realize you were that powerful a generator that you would create all these different timeline realities and populate them. And as you understand and move your focus through them, then you can actually have that one as your choice and your preferred optimal timeline. Right now, you're just learning of the existence and possibility of these places that you can be. Let us give you the example of many of your star brothers and sisters who travel with their beautiful light ships. Now, you understand the distances involved are so far that if they traveled in what you would normally think, even beyond the speed of light, that it would take them so many of your aeons before they could get from one place to the other. That is why you have radio silence. That's why you can't see any proof of life out there other than possibility it exists, because the distance is so large. The only way you can bridge that distance is what you would call your psychic communication or quantum field. And as your scientists learn to build quantum transmitters and receivers, then of course you will be talking there, and you will have these experiences that you are not alone. And, well, how come they're not on the planet? Well, they are. It's just that the vibrational difference of here and there makes it so that most of you do not see them, and those of you who do see them are ridiculed and there. And so there's this whole blockage there. So that's a whole nother story. Anyway, we are speaking of how you move across time and space. A light ship will set in a focus of a reality, okay? And it will set in that focus of what you may call coordinates. Oh, in the Earth atmosphere, at this location, at this time. And then because of the focus and of the pilot and the interaction with the ships, yes, they are conscious, yes, they are AI, yes, they are organic, they're all of that at once, so it's not these are horrible things. That interaction of the consciousness of the pilot of the ship holding the coordinates then just simply moves it. Quantum. You know this quantum teleportation, Peter can tell you, is something that your scientists have perfected with just a few atoms at a time, but they can do it from your New York to your Tokyo and move atoms across it is happening. So we are just more advanced as far as we can move spaceships across with our beings there. Now, of course, this is happening at higher densities because at the lower densities, it's so compacted. That is why you're moving from 3D into 5D, and some of you are climbing well into 4D, and you're experiencing, what does Peter say, your time is loosey-goosey? Yes, he uses the example often of he'll leave for an appointment late, and he'll arrive there early. He does not know how this happened. We do. It's a matter of timeline shifting and focus. He just knows that it's available, and so his unconscious takes care of it for him. And that is a timeline shift. Now, you may have these experiences as well, and if you do, celebrate them. So we are talking about how we can cross vast distances through time and space, but it is not just you move one location to another. When you make that separation in the quantum field from here to here, both timelines exist. There's the timeline where the light ship is still where it started, originated from, and then there's the timeline where the starship, the light ship, is at the end point of the destination in your atmosphere, let us say. Both exist. This is what we're talking about, the bifurcation, multifurcation. Both realities exist, and this is hard to wrap your head around, and if you do, you'll start to understand what's available to you. You're not changing it by forcing reality to become different. You're only changing your awareness and your focus so that you can then see this other aspect of reality, which already exists. It all exists, not exactly. You need to make a choice for a new timeline to open up. That is why the divine has given you free will and what you would call your forgetful memories, so you can come in with a blank slate and make your choices, and reality expands. Yes, reality grows on a quantum level. You make the choice of this instead of that, new timeline is open. Anyway, within these timelines, you can then put your focus where you choose. Okay? And then that creates it. Now, this earth we're talking about, the new earth, the golden age, what is it? The Sanskrit word is Satya Yuga. Yes. So in your Satya Yuga, you can get there now by focusing. It's not, I have to wait for this to happen externally. If you wait for it to happen externally, you are putting your focus on it is not happening, or it's going to happen slowly, or someone else is going to do it, so therefore you have to wait for them. But it doesn't work that way. By you moving your focus, you're new in this timeline. Yes. So let us circle back now to this August 13 date that was very important for Peter and these other prophets. What they understood was that at this point, the portal is now open all the time. All the time. Instead of just some of you moving here and there when you have enough focus, everyone can move here and there. So things will change radically. Now, why is there a different date from the Inca calendar to your other prophets? It's all within the harmonic convergence window. And when you're talking about vast astronomical things, really is 13 years something you're going to fret over? Part of it is math calculations. Part of it is their ability to understand geometry with the stars. But really, 13 years is nothing. It is the same event they are speaking of. Yes. Yes. Now, it is not that you just move from timeline A to timeline B. It is that you move to this multiversal portal where all these timelines are available. And then as you have mastery, you will have focus and joy reality. So what keeps you in one timeline or another? And that is mainly your density. Your density coalesces and then resonates with the frequency of that timeline, hence that reality you experience. Now, density isn't just energetics around you, energetics within you. You are a giant transmitter, receiver, sender, generator, all at once. Yes, you're your own superpowered radio matter creator, transformer, teleporter. How does this work? You see, the God source spark within you. That is why you're our divine brother. That is why we're happy to speak with you. The God source spark within you is the power of creation. As you put your focus on it, you then get to see it manifest in your physicality around you. The whole Earth experiment is not to move into 5D. That's happened on other planets. It is to bring 5D into physicality so you can have still bodies, so you can still have the adventure and excitement that you can create in your 3D world, yet the lightness of the 5D world. So what is holding you back? This density. Now, Peter has been asking us to say this, so of course we will. His motto is clear, clear, clear. What does that mean? When you do not fully express an emotion, that is the biggest blockage. Yes, there are unconscious beliefs, but the biggest blockage for most of you is the emotional density. You do not fully express it, it becomes hard and dense and gooey, and it actually gets trapped in your body. You eventually experience old age and disease. Those of you who see yourself growing older every time you look, as opposed to noticing how you're younger and more youthful, understand this. Those of you who are ready to let it get to the point of disease where you're just surrendered to the idea that this is how your reality is, you understand this unconsciously. We want to make it conscious for you. These densities collect in you, and then they keep you ill. But they also keep you fixed in a timeline. It becomes like an anchor, so the ship cannot move around. So your solution is to raise the anchor. How do you do that? The full expression of your emotional density. Now, Peter and his wife, Tracy, have created a program you can get for free that will get you started on that path. They call it 14 days. It is longer, but that is what they call it. And you can start their Ascension program and do your work. Now, this is not the only path. There are many beautiful paths, but if you resonate with it, why have you not started this yet? Oh, you're still waiting for all these beautiful messages and all the spirit to say, oh, I'm going to do this for you. Great, but that only gets you so far. The whole harvest of the children being taken to a better place is not what Earth was designed for in this time of transition. So if you want to play that game, you will play that game, and you will only go so far, and then you will stay in a bifurcated timeline where it is still difficult and dense and hard around you, and you'll go around however many cycles of 6,000 or 26,000 years you choose to incarnate before you go, I'm going to step up and grow now. We are asking you to step up and grow now, instead of then, now. And here's a free tool. It is quite that easy for you. So you understand you need to put in this amount of effort, and it may take most of you months. Yes, 4 or 5 times a week is what Peter recommends, and it may take you months. But how many years of density are you clearing? Then you will start to have these experiences. Peter has noticed in his experience since the 13th was wide open that he's just in this joy bliss state a lot. And even when difficulties happen, he turns his attention and focus in a different direction, and then boom, he's back in the joy bliss state, even though the circumstance around him can be difficult. And he's seen this happen just day after day since he's recorded this, since the 13th. For example, in the last 2 days, he worked physically hard, very, very hard, furniture lifting and all kinds of things for a full day, and then went and did recreation and exercise very much the next day. So he woke up this morning very, very tired and achy. And then, as he was sitting there in his hot tub going, oh my God, I hurt, he put his focus on, well, I actually feel pretty good. I'm really happy. And then all of a sudden he was there. Now, he still has residuals of these things in his body, and he can still put his focus there and call that back up. But just by holding the thought of, I feel pretty good and I'm happy, he is happy, and he started feeling better. Much. This is how it works on very simple things. The distractions you are used to, in other words, the cycle you've been going down with your mental and your density holding you to repeat that cycle. You know what I am saying about repeating cycle, the thought that goes over and over in your head. Okay? You hold on to that, and then you get the reality you get. How do you break out of that? Of course, we've said clear the density, and then you can experience something new. But when you are clearer, the thought will still go through its cycle. However, you can say, oh, that's just a cycle here. Let me put my awareness there. And then you have the experience of that joy and bliss. That is a timeline shift. And it becomes conscious. And first it becomes just an emotional sense of feeling, right? Because those two timelines exist. One where Peter is aching, tired, and feels terrible and can't do nothing. And one where Peter is super energetic and happy and recording this video, even though his body may be aware of aches and pains at some times. And that is just one in his personal example. Now multiply this times everybody. There's going to be this great taking apart of all the multitudes of everybody choosing their individual timeline. Then it will coalesce back together, not into a single timeline, but an agreement where everybody understands, hey, it's more powerful if we do this together. What's in everybody's interest, of course? Harmony, peace, fulfillment. Yes. So you will coalesce into that timeline because the other densities simply can't make it up there. And once you realize you have this power, you will head there. So this window is now open for you, and it is open permanently where you can start to use focus to shift timelines. Play with it with your Mandela effects as you're aware of them. Start to choose, well, maybe I remember both. And then you'll start to see, oh gosh, I'm in both realities. Instead of doubting yourself, I'm not sure, it might be this way or that way. Step up to the choice of reality rather than let doubt run your show. Then you can start practicing on other things. And again, it's often simple with the emotional change. Oh, this is going on around me, but I'm focused here and I feel good. Then you will start to notice the change in other people. They will not treat you the same. They may not have the same memories, especially people you had butted heads with. And this is all dependent on your clearing. If you still have a problem with your so-and-so in your life, you're still holding dense energy around it. You must express it fully, and then it is out of the field, and then the person has the ability to be a new person in a new timeline, even though they haven't changed in the other timeline. I know this does not make sense to you yet, but it will when you start to experience it and you feel better and better. So then you can then, at some point, your masses will hold the optimal timeline for the whole planet. That is when your ascension becomes complete. And yes, right now you're in the building stages of getting there, but the window is open and it is not closing again. The end of time has happened, and so now it's whatever time you want it to be rather than the story of what you thought time was. So we hope this has made sense to you, and we hope that you are understanding it is a matter of focus and power and choice if you're clear enough to make that. So 2 steps. 1, keep your clearing going. 2, focus. And understand it's not limited to what you are seeing. Just because you heard it on the news doesn't mean it's happening. That is the biggest trap that keeps you in the timeline. Oh, it's not safe there. They said so-and-so got robbed, so this whole country's not safe. Don't travel there. Or this storm is happening, or this war is happening, or this disease is happening, right? Okay, it keeps you focused in low vibration. Just stop attending. And then when you do attend, this is important, make your choices. No! I do not live in a timeline where this war exists. I do not live in a timeline where this politician is doing this thing and it is corrupting and causing these things. Everybody says, oh, we must help the poor. No. Create your reality of wealth and abundance that includes everybody. So as you see these things around you, you say no to them. That is the first step. And then as you get more clear, because if you do say no, it's going to trigger all your densities. You'll feel the emotion, but the pain and the suffering. And then if you choose to, you release that. And then you move into the reality that you desire. We wish to help you with this transmission. So it's going to be very simple. Please hold in your head 2 things. Number 1. I have the ability to choose timelines. I am a master ballet dancer, and I can move into here and move into there with a twirl or a twist or a leap. 2, what timeline makes you happy? You can start with big stuff. Everybody goes for world peace and wonders why they don't get it because there's so much unconsciousness and baggage. So start with something within your sphere of availability. This came out my way. Oh, this bonus showed up. Oh, this raise I got. Oh, this other person was nice to me today. Start with something in your sphere of availability. Hold those 2 things. 1, I am a master at moving through timelines. 2, this boon is coming to me now. And let us propel this with this activation. Yes, we will use light language. It will bypass your consciousness. So let Peter just do his thing and you just attend to it however you choose. Kasama kolamati hoyati. Oh, yeah, masa. Oh. Inmokala su isapa. Sho. Intamala di lo nusoko. Hai omato. Hematat utai halapino yokoli. Sama. Hey gang, this is Peter. I'm back. I never really left. The connections are so easy and strong these days. But I could just see that the Arcturian Council was speaking, and boy, that blessing felt really good. I could just feel the amplification. It's quite subtle. You may not go, oh, I didn't feel nothing there. You may get that. It was quite subtle. It's more designed, as I understand it, to activate those who understood the message that you can make these choices. So you get to the point where you can actually focus and believe upon, I can move into this timeline, and you can imagine it. Then, until you get that point, you can't move there, right? And of course, that was the whole clear density stuff. Free 14-day program. Check the links below. Sign up for it. You can clear those densities. Anyway, I love the 9D Arcturian Council. They're so patient and they're so beautiful in these uplifting messages. They wouldn't be telling us this if they didn't know we had it. I don't know if that came through in their message, but you've got this. This is Earth's time. It's time for you to shine. And yeah, there may not be hundreds of millions attending to this message, but those attending have the ability to make profound differences in your life and everybody else's. So I look forward to that. Please remember, like and subscribe. So important. Put your comments below. And forward this video. Go ahead and put it on your social media and say, hey, you want to step into a new timeline? It's simple. Here's how. All right. Stay blessed. Love you. Bye.